Most people think manipulation looks cold, distant, and obvious. They imagine control, lies, and harsh behavior. But the truth is far more deceptive. Some of the most powerful manipulation you will ever experience does not feel like harm. It feels like love. Intense, overwhelming, almost perfect. The kind of attention that makes you feel chosen, special, understood. And that is exactly why it is dangerous. Because sometimes the fastest way someone gains control over you is by giving you everything you have ever wanted. Want you to think about something. What if the person who made you feel the most loved was also the one who slowly took your emotional control away? Not through force, but through affection. This is what psychologists call love bombing, an intense wave of attention, validation, and emotional closeness delivered so quickly that it feels unreal. But here is what most people do not realize. Love bombing is not always easy to recognize because in the beginning it feels exactly like what we have been taught love should be. In this video, I will break down the psychology behind love bombing, how it creates emotional dependency, and how you can recognize it before it starts to control you. At its core, love bombing is emotional acceleration. It pushes a connection forward faster than it should naturally go. Instead of trust building over time, it is handed to you instantly. You receive constant attention, frequent messages, deep compliments, and promises about the future. It feels intense because it is intense. But beneath the surface, something deeper is happening. Your brain is being flooded with emotional rewards. Every message gives you validation. Every compliment boosts your sense of worth. And every moment of attention strengthens the connection. Your brain starts associating that person with feeling good. Very good. This is how attachment forms quickly. But then comes the shift. Once emotional dependency begins, the pattern changes. The attention becomes inconsistent. The affection becomes selective and the intensity fades. And suddenly you find yourself chasing the same feeling that was once given freely. That is where control begins to take shape. Not through force, but through emotional conditioning. Imagine meeting someone new. Within days, they are constantly messaging you, telling you how different you are, how they have never felt this way before. They give you compliments that feel deeply personal. They say things like it feels like they have known you forever. At first it feels perfect. You feel seen, understood, valued. Then they begin talking about the future, making plans, creating a sense of long-term connection even though you barely know each other. This builds emotional investment quickly. Then slowly something changes. They become distant, less responsive, less consistent. The energy is no longer the same. You start to question yourself. You wonder what changed and what you did wrong. Without realizing it, you begin adjusting your behavior, trying to bring back the version of them you first experienced. The same pattern can appear in friendships or workplaces. Someone gives you strong support and validation early on, positioning themselves as someone important in your life. But over time, that support becomes inconsistent. And now you find yourself seeking their approval instead of simply receiving it. The dynamic shifts from connection to dependency. This works because it targets core human needs. The need to feel valued, the need to feel chosen, and the need to feel emotionally secure. When someone gives intense affection early, your brain does not question it because it feels good and rare. There is also a powerful mechanism called intermittent reinforcement. This is when rewards are given unpredictably. Sometimes you receive attention, sometimes you do not. This pattern creates a psychological loop where you keep seeking validation because you do not know when it will return. It strengthens attachment in a very deep way. Another layer is identity mirroring. During love bombing, a person may reflect your desires, your values, and your emotional needs back to you. This creates the illusion of a perfect connection, but often you are connecting to a reflection rather than a stable personality. When that reflection fades, confusion begins. You are left trying to understand what changed. when in reality the connection was never as stable as it felt. Protecting yourself does not mean avoiding connection. It means slowing it down. Real trust takes time. If something feels too intense too quickly, pause and observe. Ask yourself if this level of emotional closeness is natural or overwhelming. Pay attention to consistency, not just how someone treats you at their best, but how they behave over time. Notice if their actions match their words. Stay grounded in your own identity and do not allow someone else to become your main source of validation. The more emotionally stable you are within yourself, the harder it is for someone to create dependency. Healthy connection respects pace, respects boundaries, and does not rush emotional intimacy. Here is the shift that changes everything. Intensity is not the same as sincerity. Just because something feels powerful does not mean it is real. Real connection is built slowly through consistency, respect, and time. When you understand this, you stop chasing emotional highs and start valuing emotional stability. That shift alone protects you from a lot of hidden psychological harm. Love bombing is difficult to recognize because it does not appear as something negative. It appears as something you have always wanted. Attention, affection, connection. But when you understand the psychology behind it, you begin to see clearly. You recognize the difference between something that grows and something that overwhelms. You understand the difference between genuine care and emotional control. And once you see that, you stop losing yourself in the process of trusting others, because real connection does not take your power away. It allows you to keep it.